You're listening to Viking Radio, coming to you from Dream Street Studios at Del Mar College. Now your host, Dr. Natalie Chapa.
Good morning, Corpus Christi. This is Dr. Natalie Chapa, and I'm joining you from Dream Street Studios this morning at the beautiful Del Mar College Heritage Campus, formerly known as East Campus, with Mike B.
Good morning, Natalie.
Good morning. How are you doing this morning, Mike?
Great, thank you.
We're continuing a great program regarding Del Mar College and all the amazing things that are happening. But today we're talking about something special. So for our listeners out there, you know about the academic side, like if you want to come and get your associate's degree or a certificate or a bachelor's degree, you can come to Del Mar. And if you want corporate training, corporate services, continuing education, right? The whole industry side of the house, you can come to Del Mar. But we also have the Small Business Development Center. And joining us today is Ms. Ann Fierova with the SBDC, as we like to call it. She's been the director there for 26 years. Glad I didn't look at Dan. And welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And joining you today is the Dean over Workforce Programs and Corporate Services. For those of you out there, our industry partners, you know this individual, you know his name, you know his voice, Mr. Dan Korus. Dan, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Natalie.
Good morning. Good to see y'all today. So this is I like to see this as a special arm of the college, but a special service that's done out in the community for all of our small business owners. And Ann, you've been here for 26 years. I only know you as the SBDC director.
Yes.
I also know you as grandma. You're also grandma too.
Mimi.
As Mimi. But tell us a little bit about the Small Business Development Center.
Okay. The Small Business Development Center has actually existed here in Corpus Christi since 1989, so we've been around for a minute. I hear every day how we're the best kept secret, so I'm super happy we're doing this today because we do not want to be a secret.
No, we don't.
No.
Every small business to know about the services, or any citizen to know about the services in case they want to start their own business.
Absolutely. So that leads me to share that even though Small Business Development Center is our name, we are really a local business program because 98.5% of the businesses in this community meet the SBA definition of small business.
Okay.
So I want to start off with that.
Yes.
So people can be thinking, yes, we help mom and pops. We help part-time starting from their basement businesses, but we also help businesses up to 499 employees with deals. We did one last week that was $5.6 million. So there's a broad spectrum of businesses that we can assist.
Okay.
And we're kind of known as the startup people. People associate SBDC with there's where you go to start your business, which is true. We do help a lot of people start businesses, but we also have a tremendous amount of resources for existing businesses in the community.
That's great to know. And you've got other programs under your purview, but for today, we're going to focus on SBDC because there's so much to talk about here, but we're going to have y'all back to talk about all of the other amazing programs that are done. And so they are actually located, folks, at our Del Mar College Center for Economic Development. Everybody knows it as the Del Mar College across from Ray High School at 3209 South Staples. So that's where Ann and her team are that's where their space is and where they're dedicated to helping the community. So it's easy to find. You can just drive up, you can park. You don't have to worry about finding them on campus. They're at our center. But you are under the umbrella of Dean Daniel Korus, Dano, as I like to call you. Dan, you oversee workforce programs and corporate services. That in itself, we're going to have to keep bringing you back, like we talked about earlier, to talk about all of that. But tell us how this fits under your purview and how you help oversee the SBDC with Ann.
So what's so neat about the Small Business Development Center is understand in business, 90% of small businesses fail. And so the SBDC was set up at a national level with the SBA to say if we can have counselors help small businesses, the likelihood goes up. And so we actually have the relationships with a couple of thousand businesses locally, and it really is all about developing people and the people inside of the business developing their
I
business.
love that. So I want to go back because you said a couple of acronyms. So we know SBDC because we've already announced that, but you mentioned the SBA. Talk about that and where that money comes from so people realize who is supporting our community.
So at a national level, the Small Business Administration is federally funded, and what they do is they give $1 to each state, and then each state takes and adds $1, and they put it into the SBDC network, and we're part of the Southwest Network, which is 87 counties. It goes north of Austin, west to El Paso, south to Victoria. So we're part of the SBDC Southwest Network. And so our main office is in San Antonio, and then our SBA rep is down in the Valley.
Okay, so that's a pretty large footprint that they oversee. But so you're saying, I love this, that yes, the money is coming from a federal level, but it really is about working with the people, working with the community, which is where you come in.
And then, Natalie, what's interesting too is 90% of the SBDCs are in universities. We are the minority. Only 10% are in community colleges. So only us and El Paso College has an SBDC, and we pride ourselves on having the ability to be nimble and fast when it comes to it.
Is it because we're so awesome?
That is.
Yeah, it is.
I don't like
Del Mar
to no
College
horn,
is
but
so
we're
cool.
pretty good.
I mean, I don't mean to toot our own horns, but toot toot.
No, I have other centers that all want to move here.
Tell
They're
us
like,
why.
because Del Mar College as a host is always super supportive of everything we do. And they do have the community college structure allows them to pivot.
Like you were
and
saying, Dan, that
react-
nimble.
React to the needs of the community, when we need them to, versus, it's got to go to a committee and take 3 years to figure out. We can make things happen, in a matter of months.
And the beautiful thing is we face business, we face industry. And what I mean by that is we're looking at them waiting to see how we best serve them. Unlike other maybe universities, and remember, we love our university partners, but when they're looking at the faculty and the regents in different groups, they're not looking at business and industry. And we face business and industry knowing that Dr. Escamilla always has our back because he's always supported us and all the above. He himself is a small business owner. His whole family
That's right.
understood business.
Yes.
So it takes about 1 nanosecond for Mark to understand that.
I'm glad you brought that up because part of being our president at the college, he does come from a business background. Like you said, his family, his mom and dad were small business owners. Now he and Jody are small business owners, along with, being president of the college. So he understands business and the importance of it, but how to pivot. You mentioned talking about what you see from our industry partners. What are we seeing lately when you're out there? Because your boots on the ground, meeting with the head of all of our industry partners, talking with people. What are you seeing out there?
I think that what we see all the time is people want to be fed intelligence, like what is happening, for example, the impact that's going to happen when it comes to tariffs, the impact when it comes to water, the impact on us when it comes to workforce, not having enough people. How do we get our workforce faster? How do we train our workforce? Does everyone need to go to a 4-year institution, a 2-year institution? Can I give them an 8-hour class and outfit them so they don't have to be in school for an extended long time period of time? It's about being a visionary, helping those guys see what the future looks like so that they don't have to figure it out on their own. They have partners with us helping them.
And we're with our businesses here in the Coastal Bend. What are you seeing? What does your team see when they come in? Kind of what's maybe not the trend or the needs right now of what people are coming into the SBDC with?
Well, when I started with the SBDC many moons ago, we were seeing about 25% of our clientele were existing businesses, 75% were startups. And now that has become about a 50-50. where more existing businesses are walking in our doors saying, hey, we want to expand. We have an opportunity in another geography we want to expand to, or we've been renting our business or renting our building for, X amount of years. Now we want to look at buying it. I want to add more employees. I want to add a new piece of equipment. So the lens that each business comes in with determines what their needs are and what we need to do to help them. Our goal is to make sure that everybody who walks in the door leaves in a better place than they walked in the door. And it's all driven by them and their vision, not, we have a lot of very experienced advisors. We have most of our advisors are level 3 or 4, which is, 10, 15, approaching 20 years of experience. So they can see opportunity for a lot of businesses, once they start working with them. All they can do is help that business maybe see
suggest,
that
yeah.
opportunity, but it's completely our support is completely driven by what that business wants for them. So sometimes we got to hold back because we're like, oh, we have all these opportunities for
I know,
you.
we could do so much.
Yeah.
And so Dan mentioned 90% of small businesses fail. But what you're saying is for our community members, right now, about half of the people that you're seeing are people already in business. So once you do make it and you're getting going, you're seeing a lot of people now coming in asking for support.
Correct. And we don't want people to think about the SBDC as where you go when you're in trouble. Definitely we're there to help people who are in trouble, but we want people to think of us as a resource to help you no matter where you're at in your business life cycle, no matter what your business is doing or not doing. We want to engage with people before they're in trouble. We want to engage with people when they have opportunities on the horizon, not just after it's too late.
So if you've got an idea,
Correct.
you can go to SBDC, or if you're a seasoned business owner and you want to expand or, add some complexity to your business, you can also go to the SBDC.
Correct. And
Because what ends up happening is on the front end, you need money. So we can help you find money, put together a business plan. In the middle, you need to grow. Now you need more money. And then the irony is at the end of your successful life cycle, where's your money going to go? And now you need a succession plan. How are you going to take that capital gains and either hand it off to someone else, sell it to someone, give it to a family member, or cash out? So we have the whole spectrum.
And Dan, I know that you have been part of the team when we go to DC to advocate federally. I think we went last year, and I was on the higher ed team. You were on the workforce team, right?
Economic development.
The economic development team, because you were representing Del Mar College and the SBDC, right?
Economic development.
Yeah. Tell me, what were y'all talking about? What were you advocating for on that trip?
So part of that was one of the things that we went through was how can we do better as a community when it comes to presenting ourselves to the state and to the federal entities about coming here to do business. And we have a very good business climate in Corpus Christi. And so it's always us being open to whatever that industry might be. So we work hand in hand with the CCREDCs. And then what was interesting in our trip in in DC, was about 8A funding. Those are the funding mechanisms the feds give us. And the question is, should they increase that funding or decrease it? And our answer is always increase it.
Right.
But it also has to have a letter of proprietary matters, and we have to make good loans. You know what I mean?
Good loans, because the return on investment has to be there. You have to show the ROI.
And it's the taxpayers' money. So we want to be good stewards of the taxpayer money. So that's where the SBDC works in well, is we teach them to make sure you know how to manage your loan and your loan officers in the most integrity way, with the most amount of integrity. Because you want to get more money.
That's right.
And I want to clarify, the SBDC has no money.
Good correlation.
You're not lenders.
We do not loan the money.
I was about to fill out my application.
No, I'm sorry. Yes.
Dano.
The
Give me a loan,
SBA
Dano.
loans
The
are
SBA loans.
generated
Yes.
by a bank and the SBA, and the SBDC helps put the package together.
There you go.
It's all tied together.
It's all tied together.
But I do not go to Ann.
Anne
if
has
I
no
need a
money.
loan.
She
If
has a
I-
great attitude, but she has no money.
I have this drawer, the bottom drawer in my desk. I just open it up and pull the cash out.
That is,
We have
It's
no
just money
money
for everybody. God, man, I've been missing out.
we won't talk about PPP because at that time Ann did have some money.
Yeah, that's
but
right.
we don't have any money anymore.
That's
No.
gone.
COVID days are
Yes,
behind
those
us.
days are over, thankfully. We'll be right back.
This is where the world opens up to possibility, to action, to success. This is Windward Campus at Del Mar College, where cutting-edge facilities prepare you for careers in high-demand fields, and industry professionals bring real-world experience to the classroom. This is a place of discovery, opportunity, and growth. This is where potential becomes your power. This is where you belong. Learn more at dmcdreams.com.
This show is a production of Del Mar College, where if you already hold an associate's degree, you can earn a bachelor's degree online in organizational management and leadership. Come own your dreams at Del Mar College. Learn more at delmar.edu/VAS.
Todo comienza aquí, donde los sueños se vuelven realidad y tu futuro se aclara. Este es el Campus Heritage de Del Mar College. Aquí cursas asignaturas fundamentales en artes, ciencias y negocios, con instalaciones actualizadas y profesores que ofrecen una educación de calidad que te inspira para toda la vida. Es un lugar de creatividad, donde todo es posible y el éxito está al alcance. Aquí puedes destacar y crecer. Aquí es donde perteneces. Aprende más en dmcdreams.com.
This is Viking Radio.
For our folks out there listening, we are talking about our Small Business Development Center that focuses on serving our area and helping business owners of all sizes. Here in the Coastal Bend, we have Director of the SBDC, Miss Ann Fierova. And then we also have our Dean of Workforce Programs and Corporate Services, Dan Korus, that are joining us here today. Mike and I continue to be blown away by these services that our awesome little community college provides.
I'm telling you, I've worked with Ann many times over the years, and I've interacted with some of our local small business owners in various stages of business ownership. They always tell me the same thing. Number one, thank God for the SBDC. There is such a thing as free advice. Second of all, they've described the paperwork process as nightmarish, and the SBDC has helped
Right. Not
tremendously.
our paperwork. Clarify that.
Sure.
We don't have nightmarish paperwork at all.
Sure. And one lady, true story, a couple of months ago, I was in the Harvin Center here on the Heritage Campus, and a lady was coming into the building, and she said, excuse me, is this where the SBDC is? I said, no, ma'am, it's over at the Center for Economic Development on Staples and Castores. And she said, oh, okay, I'm trying to she just started telling me her story. She's trying to get her house cleaning business off the ground. I said, this is where you go, ask for Ann, and you'll be in good hands.
Yeah, just that simple.
Very grassroots.
Yes, grassroots. And I want to ask about that. So, when you say 90% of businesses fail, what do you see as what are some of the contributors that get in the way of somebody with that great idea? You've got that great idea and you start it up, and then what happens?
Well, like I said, everybody comes to our doors coming from a different place and different degrees of preparedness to make their dream a reality. Some people come with great experience and not two dimes to rub together. It's going to be a tough road for them. Some people have plenty of money. They don't have the experience. They've never ran a business. They've never managed a business they're trying to open. So really, I say I've been 26 years director, but I've been with the SBDC for 31. So
total. And in 30 plus years, I no 2 days have ever been the same. So everybody comes from a different place, different level of preparedness, and most businesses fail. The ones that come to us, this sounds kind of, I guess I'll say it. They fail because they don't take the advice they're given. Some people, we call them not very coachable. Our advisors have been there, done that, are giving advice from that standpoint. And there are some people that just come in with blinders on and they just want confirmation that their idea is good. And they're going to blaze on no matter what we say.
That reminds, so there's, and I'm not going to like point out where, but like there's some places in town, I'm like, okay, since I've lived here, this is the 10th restaurant to open up in this location, people.
Yes.
It's not a good location.
Natalie, along the same line, we see this actually, believe it or not, it's a parallel in small business, but also in big business, that someone might have this technical skill that's awesome. They can make it and make money, but they also have to be a business person. So now they have to do the math, accounting on the front end. On the back end, you have to do your taxes. You have to be in good standing with the state comptroller, with the federal government. Now, you can make this, but that's not enough. Now you need to manage the whole business.
Manage the business.
And the irony is some of the companies that are extremely good about making this made so much of it, now they owe this to the federal government and the state governments and the city governments because they never managed their successes, their monies.
Are you referring to a ballpoint pen?
I'm just talking about whatever it is that you may, but you're an exceptional technician,
Right.
and you're a horrible business person.
Well, okay.
You got to be a manager of money and
Yes.
accounting and the paperwork.
Let's talk about this because I have several friends who are small business owners or business owners, and sometimes there's inevitably there's a struggle or a challenge because it's business. It's challenging work, rewarding but challenging. And I kind of, after listening to my friends after a while, I'm like, you can't know and be perfect at everything. Right? So maybe you are good at the idea and coming up with the product, but maybe you're not the finance person. Get help with that,
Correct.
right? And so like for me, I have tons of ideas. I could go to the SBDC. I am the idea queen. I've got so many ideas. I'm not a business person. And I'm not a math person, and that's okay. And I currently have a job, so I don't need, I don't need to open up my own business. Like I don't have the time. But again, I would know that about myself, right? Even if I came in with a great idea. So it's kind of knowing kind of what you can do, where you need to get help. But man, you bring up such a good point. When people have an idea, I'm going to open up an ice cream shop.
No, this can't fail.
This can't fail. This is such a great idea. It is a good idea in theory, but what's the reality of opening up the
And
business?
a lot of times we have people come from other places. They're transplanted from California,
Sure.
from Florida,
And it's
from
a different-
Montana.
It's a different economic
And
environment.
what works there may
Right.
not work in Corpus Christi, Texas.
That's
so
right.
we do we counsel them, we advise them to kind of slow their roll a little bit, let us help them with some research. We have a great geographic information systems intern that can pull amazing market research to support their planning process.
And so it's not only the people that are very trained and in your program, but then you also have the data analytics to help back it up.
The research component. In fact, inside of the SBDC, because of the good work that yourself and Lenora Keys and all of our administration has done, we have GIS analysis. And so we get to do that due diligence inside of our own markets so we can give good advice to the businesses.
That's right. It's not just trust me, I know these things.
It's like, no, we're
It's
running
like,
it on
This
data.
is data,
Right.
actual data. So how does one get a hold of the small business development? I still can't believe it's a secret but I guess because I've known about it for all these years. But there's a lot of people who still don't know about the Small Business Development Center. How does someone get in contact with you?
The best way to get a hold of us is through the website, delmar.edu/SBDC, Small Business Development Center. And if they're interested in becoming a client, there's a red button in the upper right-hand corner of our main front page that says Request Advising. And you just click on that button, put in some basic contact information, and someone on our staff will reach out to you and walk you through becoming a client. We
Okay,
also,
that I can imagine just getting through that step. Like that gave me anxiety. I mean, you have a dream and just to press that button and say, I'm going to talk to a real person about this, somebody who knows about my crazy idea.
I have a solution for you,
Tell
ma'am,
me.
and your anxiety.
Tell me.
Twice a month we do an orientation, which is an online orientation. It's parts of it are recorded, but it is always facilitated live by an advisor who can answer questions, and they pause throughout the presentation to ask questions. You don't have to pre-register. You can just show up. It's the second and fourth Wednesday of each month at 4:00. You just show up, and that gives you a basic overview in a very safe way where you don't have to commit to anything. No one's
Right.
going to know your ideas, but you can hear all the parts that you're going to need to, all the bases you're going to need to cover to successfully start your business. And then you can choose to take that next step of reaching out and pressing the red button on our website. and
Nice,
saying,
I love
I'm
that.
ready.
Sorry,
What's
Anna.
so cool about the SBDC, they're advisors on the front end, but in the middle of all this, they're the champion cheerleaders. I'm telling you, they're the champion cheerleaders. And then they're also the savvy uncle. Because the funny thing is, when people now become successful, the next thing they want to do is, I want to do it bigger, better, faster. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you got to pace your growth based on cycles.
That leads me to a question. I imagine the business climate changes,
Absolutely.
right?
All the time.
What does it look like right now?
That's
As
an
far as
interesting
the-
question.
It's always a good time to start a business in Corpus Christi.
Is it really?
I mean, for the right person with the right resources and the right ideas, there's never a bad time.
Really?
Correct. It's really all about who's coming to the table with what idea, because we need that innovation constantly. It's what makes our economy go round. Is most of it is driven by the innovations of the businesses we
What do
serve.
you-
And in fact, even using an economic model too, financial lending rates are good. Historically, they're good. All right. Our environment is being driven by oil and gas. Our environment is good. And then the best thing about Corpus Christi, we have a good business environment, a good business climate. So Corpus Christi has always been, and I would say for the last 15 years, because of our oil and gas engine driving at about $100 billion a year, it's driving our economy.
And that's not slowing down.
It's not slowing down.
No, in fact,
so when
it's
people
speeding
say,
up.
oh, it's because of the XYZ, that's about 1%. That's not everything. That might be for that group over there, but that's not for us as a whole.
Now, I can say that we do see swings in the ways people finance their business operations that are coming to the table. I think it has swung slightly away from, I'm going to get a loan to do this. A lot of the deals we see getting done is people putting their own money in, friends and family money. They're growing that business organically. So I talk about that's also part of why we're 50-50 existing businesses to startups, because they come back around. We're growing our own constantly. So we have people that have been clients of the center for 15, 20 years, and maybe they're on their fourth business venture or coming back around for that initial business venture that now they're trying to expand it.
As y'all are doing such phenomenal work, thank you so much. And you've been a gift, 31 years at Del Mar College. So we're going to hold you to that. We're going to get you to 60.
Oh my gosh. I hope that comes with a walker. and-
Dan's still going to be here. He's going to be like, come on, Ann.
Get in
We're going
here.
to get some more money for our community.
He'll be wheeling me in. Let's go.
That we can do that. That's not a problem. Dan, thank you so much for joining us. And
No,
we're
thank
definitely
you.
going to have you back.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is, again, just one small example of all the amazing things that you're doing here at the college. And thank you. We will definitely bring you back to talk about all the other programs that you also oversee. And Dan, I think, we're going to have to do a spot just for Dan and his team to come, because they do so much work out in the community. Corpus Christi, I hope you had a great time learning about the Small Business Development Center. Again, another great part of Del Mar College that Mike Bratton and I are so proud to be a part of. Mike B., have a great day, buddy.
Thanks, you too. Adios, amiga.
Adios.
This show is a production of Del Mar College. Follow us on Spotify at Viking Radio.